Right, so we're gonna try something silly today because I apparently have nothing better to do in my life. I'm going to try to build a direct comparison between a jQuery app and a React app because I want to see if I still know how to work with jQuery at all. So we're gonna start with by creating a React sandbox, and all of this is going to happen in a sandbox because, well, that just makes it easier, doesn't it? So we're gonna start with this React sandbox, and we're going to because I honestly know how to do it in React better these days than I do in jQuery. I'm gonna build that part first, see what we get, and then move on to building it with jQuery. So let's hey Shiv, how are you doing today? I don't think I've seen you on the streams before. So we're going to say these are cats, like that, and then we're going to say here cats are cool and give them a little, let's see, what's a cool emoji, like that. So that saves there, right? Okay, that for this the sandbox. Wonderful. And then we're going to here render a bunch of cats in a loop and then see what happens after that. And I think I promised that this wouldn't use hooks, which seems silly, but whatever. We can do it without hooks. So I have here the cat API. Get your own API key, make your own app. Let's sign up for free. Okay. Sure, I'll opt into your newsletter. What do I want my app description to be? A silly example of jQuery versus React. Signing up. Wonderful. You've been sent an email with my API key. Cool. So I'm gonna open the email. And now let's see here, what do? We're gonna fetch a bunch of cats and then loop through them, right? So if, should I do, no, I'm gonna do it with hooks because hooks are really not that hard at all. So we're going to import useState like that. And we're going to say const number set number equals use state, and we start with one cat. And then let's see, what do we need? We also need cats. Yeah, cats, and set cats equals use state that starts with an empty array, like that. And then we go here and let's see, how do we use the cat API? Can I open my email? Oh no, it's locked. So I'm gonna go to Safari. Okay, and we're gonna go here and we're going to have a use effect that goes like this and says load cats, and it runs when the function first starts. Then we're going to have set number, which we don't need yet. And let's see, so we have load cats. Now we need a function called load cats. Function load cats, which will run a fetch. Let's see, oh, Safari, go to mail. Okay, let's see, where is my cat API key? Come on. From Mr. Aiden. Welcome to the cat API. This is my key. Come on. My unique user ID. Okay, so how do I actually use this? Open documentation. Getting a random kitty. Breeds, categories, votes, favorites, images, search and pagination. Okay, so we're going to just return a bunch of cats at first. Would return 5 images from image. Cool. Okay, so I think I can just use this directly. Let's see. So we have here a bunch of, oh, let me zoom this in. Can you might be able to see it better now. So I'm gonna say fetch, let's do cat URL, which is going to be a constant up here. Cat URL equals blah. And we're going to start with, okay, we might need to, I know what we're gonna do. We're going to do it a little differently. So we're going to put it on live chat, not top of chat. What do you mean, Moon the Blue Fox? I'm not sure what you mean by that. This should be the type live chat, shouldn't it? Let's see. Analytics filtering. I'm not using any filtering, I think. Maybe you mean on the YouTubes. This should be live chat. Oh, I see. Let me just set it to live chat there as well, just in case, but let's see. Okay, so I'm going to have, we have a cat URL, and then we're going to have a fetch cats function, which is going to be an async function. So should it be an async function? No, let's keep it simple. We're gonna keep it as a promise function. So this is going to return fetch from, not from the cat URL. We're going to need to know which page we're on, right? So we're going to start like that. It's going to start with page 1 and render 10 kitties. What else does it need to do? So then it gets a response and says response.json, and it returns that. So then here we have use effect, which is a function that does stuff and calls fetch cats dot then gets a bunch of cats. Yes, cats, and let's console log them. Console log kitties, and we run this right away on mount. So I'm going to reload. What unknown save error? What the hell? Okay, reload. So I'm having a weird issue here, not sure why. We recovered unsaved files, thank you very much. Save. Problems. Okay, don't care. Console log, perfect. So we got a bunch of kitties. Let's see what the kitties look like. We have breeds, categories, ID, URL. And I think that if I open this, it should look like a cat. Perfect. Hey Matteo, how are you doing today? Okay, so we have a bunch of cats. So when we get cats, we're going to say set cats with our list of cats, right? Okay. And then down here we can say, what can we say? If cats exist, then we can render them. So we're going to say if cats and cats, where we pass in cats as our cats, right? Cats, cats, cats. Okay. So this should render cats, but it's now saying that kitties are not defined. Let's call it kitties, because I've been saying kitties a lot. So import kitties from /kitties. Yes, so /kitties. Now our kitties are going to be a new file, kitties.js, and this kitties is going to import React from React. I can close this one, and then I can say function kitties, which takes a list of cats and returns null for now, and then export default kitties. Cool. So we now have a list of cats that is invisible. We're going to say cats.map. Okay, so we're going to return a react.fragment. No, we're going to return a UL. UL makes sense. UL, and inside the UL we're going to say cats.map for each cat. UL, no, let's not do it a UL. Let's just make a bunch of divs. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense. So we're going to do it like this, cats map, and then each cat is going to div with an image source, which is cat.image, or what was it? Like that. Let's see if that works. Like that. Kitties. Warning: each child in a list should have a key prop. Yes. So cat and index, and we say key equals index because we are lazy. Now let's see, where are my cats? Fetch cats, then cats set cats, and here I'm going to console log cats so that we can see what they are. Oh, and because they're starting as an empty array, we don't actually have to check for anything. Cool. So cats, it's not an image, it's a URL. So if we say cat.url, yay, we get a bunch of cats. Cool. Now we need to also pass in the count. So we're going to call this show count and set show count. And we're going to say number count equals show count, right? Right. And then in here we only take as many cats as the show count says. Was it number? Yes, it was number. So number, image source alt. What's the alt for an image? They have an ID and stuff. Nothing very useful. So we're going to say cat image is always going to be the alternative. And we actually don't need to use this ID because we have a cat.id. Cool. And now the next thing we can do is add some CSS. So let's say styles.css, and we're going to say each image is exactly 300 pixels wide. Wonderful. So we now have cats, and we're going to .slice from 0 to number. No? Come on, that should be it. Let's try again. No, it's not slice. How do you... Have I ever owned a cat? Yes, I have actually. I used to own a magnificent epic cat. I can actually show it to you. My cat is of non-trivial size. So this used to be my cat, but she actually passed away no, I think it was last year now. So yeah, last year my amazing cat unfortunately passed away, but she was a great, magnificent cat that I had for a long time. Cool. So we have a list of cats. and I'm having trouble. Is it splice 0 to 5? So that should work. Yeah, Matteo actually makes a I think slice is the one that returns a new array, and splice, oh, this is the problem. I'm passing in a count, not a number. So yeah, Matteo makes a great point that jQuery has a lot of great things going for it. It's just that it's kind of fallen out of use, and here we're going to see how easy it is actually to work with. I'm just proving it first in React that I even know how to build it. And I agree that jQuery plugins were a great idea, and I was always hoping that we would get to the same point with React components, but the ecosystem kind of went a different way. So now we're going to add a button that says more cats, and let's see, cat, we should use this one. So now there's going to be a button down here that says more cats, and when we click this, on click we're going to say more cats. Now more cats is going to be a function that looks like this. What should this function do? This function should say set show count equals show count plus 1, right? Perfect. So more cats, more cats, more cats, more cats, and eventually we're going to run out of cats. Very eventually. Okay, so we ran out of cats, which means we need to fetch more cats. So how do we do that? So on set show count, we're going to actually do this and say we also want this effect to run every time there's more cats, but if cats.length is less than show count, then we fetch more cats. A date range picker plugin in jQuery. Dude, that was such a great plugin. I always love that one. So set cats is going to be, how do we join two arrays together in JavaScript? Oh, I know. We're going to say cats and new cats. So we're going to say cats dot slash cats and dot slash new cats. So now we should be able to keep infinitely has a missing dependency cats, either include it or remove the dependency array. You can also do, okay, fine. Although that's, no, I don't think cats is a missing dependency here, but whatever. Actually, yeah, we definitely do not want this. Yeah, fuck it, let's just leave it there. Emoji should be wrapped in a span, blah. So let's see, more cats. Actually, let's make it render, or let's make it fetch a little fewer cats, so limit 5. And when it's fetching cats, we should give it the current cats array to know the current amount, show count. And we're going to say current count. So if we are, okay, so if we have five pages, or if we have 5 cats per page, and we want to get the next page every time we go above, then we need to take the math ceil. Yeah. So const page equals math.ceil current count divided by 5. Let's see if that should work. So if we say math.ceil of 1 divided by 5, that gives us page 1, and 6 divided by 5, then we're going to have the next one at 11. Perfect, that works correct. Karen Genebla, yes, I am using OBS for streaming. I'm actually streaming via Restream so that I can go to multiple channels at once, but on my machine it's running OBS. And Candy Cane asks, if you have a Node app, if you only send GET requests, do you still need a POST request handler in your app code? You only need a POST request handler in your app code if you want to handle POST requests. If you don't want to handle POST requests, you don't need one. It really is as simple as that, to be honest. So we're taking the page. Now let's see. More cats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Perfect. We can now infinitely fetch more cats whenever we want. So this works correctly. We got the React version working perfectly fine, and it only took us actually very few what should I say? Yeah, it's really not that much code, is it? Cool. Now let's see if we can build a okay, now let's do a jQuery version. Do a Svelte version as well. Okay, we might try a Svelte version as well. Let's try a jQuery version first. So we're going to say, what should we name this? I'm not sure. Okay, so we got this. Let's make a new code sandbox so that I'm not mixing things together, right? And let's do a jQuery version. Let's see. Create sandbox. We can use a vanilla version. Document get element by ID, app inner HTML, blah blah blah. So I'm going to toggling sections in and out with a height animation. You're right, it does have that, but we're not going to be using that because we are trying to be as simple as possible. Okay, so we got this thing, and we say these are cats are cool. It forked our sandbox, cool. I'm going to copy over the CSS so we don't have to do it again. Let's see, style CSS, bam. Instead of app, we're going to say body. Don't know why it keeps adding that sandbox thing. Okay, come on, reload. These are cats are cool. Okay. Now let's see about adding the jQuery dependency. I don't actually know if there's a good way to do that. Oh, there's a beta version. Whatever. So we use that. So we got jQuery. Now I'm gonna say import $ from jQuery and hope for the best. No. What about if we just do $? Does that work? So I don't actually know how to import jQuery anymore. $ is not defined. Wonderful. Does anyone know how to import jQuery in a modern parcel system? script source equals. So yeah, I don't actually know how to use jQuery anymore. That's funny. Just add a CDN. Oh my god, that is brilliant. Okay. jQuery CDN. jQuery uncompressed minified slim minified. Okay, we can use that one. Copy link address. We go here and we import that thing. And now we should be able to do stuff. Console log. I'm just gonna make sure that it's there. Reference dollar is not defined, so that doesn't actually work. Right, that's a problem. So dollar is not defined. What about jQuery? No. How do I actually import jQuery into my project? Source HTTPS blah. Okay, we can do that. Priceless surf. Minifies, it changes the var names. That is a good point. What if we say parcel import jQuery? I'm sure that exists. How do you use jQuery with Parcel Bundler? Aha. Cool. Use plain requires instead of imports. Okay. Let me add it here. Nope, wrong one. Here, jQuery, like that. Now I can go into index.js. I can do this, and I can console log dollar. Yes. Cool. Okay, so we got it. We now have jQuery. Okay, now I'm going to copy over the fetch cats function. Yeah, it worked just now because we made it work. So we have fetch cats. Did it work without the thing? I don't think it worked without the thing, to be honest. Now, okay. So we are going to, let's start by, I don't need the global stuff. Are you sure? No, you're right. I don't need the global stuff. But let's see, const page, fetch cats. So the first thing we need to do is fetch the actual cats, right? Or rather, let's have div id equals kitties, and that is going to be a closed div, and then we're going to have a function render cats that is going to get a count, cats and count, so cats and count, and it's going to right, so we can say dollar hash kitties dot inner HTML, inner HTML becomes empty, and then cats dot splice or slice, cats slice 0 to count, 0 to count. We're going to go for each of those. We're going to get a cat, and for each of those cats we're going to say hashtag kitties dot append, and we're going to create an element. Is it just HTML? Okay, you're right. I think it is actually. So dot HTML. So for each one, how do we create an? We're going to create a div, and to the div we're going to. So we have a div, and that div we're going to append an image, or rather a dollar image, which is going to have attribute source set to cat.url, like that. So I think so. Pop, no, okay, pop, okay. So I think this will render our cats. Now we just need to const dollar equals jQuery equals let's just do this, const dollar equal require blah. So we now have the render cats function. Now what we need is we need to fetch the cats. So we're going to say fetch cats. Let's say let cat count equals 1. So we're going to say fetch cats with the cat count. Then we get a list of cats, or new cats, list of new cats, and we say when those new cats are fetched, we're going to say cats is an array. We're going to say cats becomes cats and new cats, and we call, okay, so that's the then we call render cats with cats and our cat count. Let's see if that works. So this should in theory render a cat. Perfect. So that worked. We know how to do stuff with jQuery. Now we need to add a button. So I'm gonna copy the button from here because this should be pretty much the same. Okay, like that. But the button is going to be, now it renders down here. Come on. Why is this working so weirdly? Okay, so we have the cats there. Now here we say $button on click is a method that does what? It's a method that increases cat count plus equals 1 and runs render cats with cats and cat count. Okay, let's see if that works. This should now be able to add more cats when we click the button. I'm also kind of surprised how slow this works. I know, right? You know that jQuery is now something like more than a decade old? Yay, it renders another cat. Awesome. Now we gotta make sure that if cat count is more, so if cat count is more than cats dot length, then else. Okay, so if cat count is more than cats dot length, hey Ridari, you can't see the code. Oh right, I forgot. Sorry, I can also do this. Is that better? I scrolled up. So if cat count is more than cats.length, that means we have to refetch more cats. So we're going to say fetch cats with cat.count. Then right, so now we have to do this in 2 places, which is silly. Okay. So this should now work. Initial cat fetch. Fetch more cats when we run out. Is this for testing speed? It's actually for a friend of mine is preparing a talk at a conference where he's speaking to a bunch of people who aren't actually familiar with React, and he helped me for a simple example that shows how much cooler React is than the jQuery way. So I'm building him a little jQuery versus React example because it's relatively quick for me to build and it's interesting. So we now can click more cats. You can totally see how it's faster in the React world. Cool. So this seems to work pretty conveniently. Sweet. Okay, so that works. We got an example with a good request. Adrian, that is in fact a great request. How often one should refactor and how difficult it can be the longer you wait and how to do it properly. I honestly don't really have a good answer for you right away, but that's something I would have to think about a little longer. I can't just shoot off an answer from off the top of my head that's going to be any good. And do I have any? Ridari asks if I have any experience with Go. I haven't actually used Go yet. I've seen a lot of people are really excited and are saying great things, but I haven't personally used it, so my opinions are pretty limited. Yeah, so I don't really have a valuable opinion on Go that I can give you, but I can definitely say that the React version of this code seems to work a lot faster than the jQuery version does, especially the more cats you get, because we are re-rendering all of the cats from scratch every time. Now, should I build a Svelte version as well? That would be interesting, wouldn't it? Let's give it a shot. Let's try getting a Svelte or Svelte code sandbox, because I don't know how to build my own from scratch. Cool. So I'm gonna fork this guy. Let's see. Come on, load. My computer's getting kind of slow because it's got too much stuff going on. But let's see. How do I fork this? Fork. Okay, so we have the app. We don't need a button. We can delete the button. Now app Svelte. We have. God damn it, computer! Why are you so slow? Preferred node server framework. Honestly, the best one I've used so far is Express. But if you are, yeah, Express is great. But if you're using something like serverless, then you don't need Express. It's easiest to just do it raw. Okay, so we're gonna use this thing again. Okay. Oh, where are you? Okay, so we add this stuff and we don't need a button. Come on. Come on, computer, work. You can do it. Okay, cats are cool. Now, once again, we're going to fetch all the cats and then do stuff with them. We're gonna say, yeah, I've honestly not used Koa or Happy all that much, but I have used Express, and Express is great. So we said we have cats that starts as an empty array, and we have a let show count that starts with 1. Await promises inside the template in Svelte. I did not know that. That sounds really cool. I also don't think I actually need that right here, but let's see. We can go for each cats, and each, wait, how do I do each again? Svelte.dev. Okay, computer, stop struggling. Examples. Now let's see, declaring if else each blocks. Okay, how do I use an each block? This seems oddly familiar. So each cats as, okay, each cats as ID and URL, and we render a kitty with ID equals ID and URL equals URL, like that, right? Right. Now all we need is a kitty function, or import kitty from /kitty.svelte, like that, and we make a new one, kitty.svelte, and kitty.svelte is going to be a script that says export, come on, export let ID, export let URL, and it renders as image source URL and alt equals kitty pic, right? Yeah, we don't really need much more than that. What do you mean unexpected end of output? I don't get it. Style parsing adjacent JSX elements. They're not JSX elements. These are kitty files. Okay, so it looks like Svelte in Code Sandbox doesn't work. Oh, and the image, that's right. Thank you, Karangene-san. I'm an idiot. Okay, now let's see if that works. Or, well, it's not gonna work yet. We need to still do stuff. But it's definitely looking like my computer is struggling a lot with this many Code Sandboxes running. Let's make a fetch cats function like this, same as we had before. Bam. Okay. And we can just call fetch cats with show count, and then we get our new cats, and we say cats, we say this, so cats becomes cats and new cats. So let's see if that works. Fetch count, no fetch counts, fetch cats. Fetch cats. Come on, computer, you can do it. Woohoo! Okay, we have a bunch of cats. Now here we gotta add a slice. Oh, and we need the image style. Oh, we can do that in the cat. So cats.slice 0 to show count, like that. And then in kitty svelte we can add a style, and style that says image is width of 300 pixels, right? This isn't really working that well. Actually, I'm not sure if it's not working or it's just my computer being so slow. So we got fetch cats, and now we need a button. So we say button, more cats, like that. And where is it? More cats, a lovely cat thingy, and on click runs. What does it run? It runs oh, and we said that each image is in a div. On click, more cats, and here kitty svelte needs to go in a div. Why did we do that? And div. Come on. Hey fuzzy buddy, I'm doing pretty well today actually. I'm just annoyed that my computer is so slow. You'd think that for this much money you'd get a better computer. So function more cats, when we call that we say show count plus equals 1. If show count is more than cats.length, then we fetch a few more cats, like that. Come on, you can do it. Wow. Okay, so this should now work in theory, but my code sandbox is still behind, so it's not actually. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. More cats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now let's see if it renders the 6th one. Nope. That's interesting. Very interesting. Why is that not working? Okay, let's see. Console log fetching more. Let's see if it's actually managing to fetch more, because it's strange that this doesn't work. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Huh. Interesting. Why is that not working? Why isn't it correctly detecting? Oh, there we go. It needs to be more or equal. So, or maybe not. Very interesting problem to run into. Let's see, console log show count and cats.length. Cats.length. Okay. So more cats. Oh, come on, run the latest code. More cats. 2, 5, 3, 5, 4, 5. 5, 5, 6, 5. So, oh, okay, now it's working. So it was working all along, it just wasn't running the latest code because my computer is slow as fuck. Okay, I can deal with that. So here we go. We have an example of the same app built with jQuery, React, and Svelte. I'm not sure if that's particularly useful, but it was definitely very interesting to me. Maybe I should write a blog post about this, or just, yeah, this seems moderately useful somehow, but I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna do with it. It was definitely fun to build. Thanks everyone for watching, and I will see you again some other time this week. If you If you bought the Build a Modern React App live video series, we're gonna start that tomorrow, but it's not gonna be public. So for all you all watching the public stuff, I'll be here maybe on Wednesday, probably not. Definitely on Sunday. We'll see how it goes. Thanks for watching.